So it's time for SOFI's earnings call. And man, am I excited for the call, because is this going to be the catalyst to send the stock back to the moon once again? Or is it going to be like the past where we fall way back down in very short order after the earnings? So let's talk about if that is indeed the case again, and more importantly, what matters on this earnings. And I'll give you my exact plan for SOFI stock. But guys, I have a massive warning as well that you must understand too, because it routinely has proven to get us, the regular investors, completely destroyed over and over again around earnings. And I don't want you falling victim to it in the end here, guys. We got to avoid that. So make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth out of the hype, because that's exactly what you're going to get today, guys. And hey, let's talk about the 4 things that matter on this earnings. All right, I understand there's a lot more than an earnings report, but this time around, these are the 4 main things that are going to matter this time around. And I'll tell you my exact plan for SOFI and the one big warning that you must avoid as well. It's all coming in this video. So let's start off with number 1. Will they continue the beat and raise strategy? SOFI has had great earnings performance every single time for over 3 years now, and have essentially beat and raised almost every single time. That has been their strategy in regards to guidance, in regards to how they position themselves ahead of earnings. And they tend to do that over and over and over again. But I gotta say, as time wears on, it seems like Wall Street isn't as responsive to it as they should be, and more importantly, as much as we would like them to be, and really how SOFI deserves to be treated because of their earnings performance. So they may actually need blow it out of the water earnings to keep the momentum going, or else the stock will most likely tank once again after earnings. I know it seems like it happens every single time, but hey, it's just the reality of the stock market. But keep this in mind, guys. Keep this in mind right here, top of your head. That is to your advantage as a long-term buy and hold investor if you've done evaluation, if you are disciplined, and if you understand what you own. That is actually the perfect scenario that you have play out with your stocks. It's why I personally have bought SOFI over 100 times. Actually, I'm approaching 200 buys at this stage, with the vast majority of those buys being under $10 per share. That's right, guys. That is what planning, doing your due diligence, and valuation gets you in the end. Now, I know I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not criticizing anybody or anything else out of nature, okay? Please don't take it that way. But I know some of you guys got caught up in the hype last year and are sitting with an average well over $20 per share. So it feels like this stock actually sucks, right? It's a terrible stock. However, let me kind of counter this with the other side of it. If your average is $6 or $8 or even just anywhere under $10, $12 or so, then you feel completely different about the stock, okay? That right there is kind of the difference between the two. Now, don't fret. If you happen to be in that category where your average is up over $20 per share, you can correct that mistake. And if you want to learn how to correct it and work directly with me to correct that mistake, the earnings flash sale is live, where you get access to my DMs, you get access to the courses, the live coaching that we do for you guys, all the live streams that we do, Q&As weekly that we do directly with me, and so much more to help you correct that mistake and obviously learn how to do due diligence and everything else at price targets. See all my buy and sell alerts real time. Guys, there's so much involved. We'll talk more about it at the end, but it's the pinned comment down there for those that are interested. Buy it before the price goes up. So number 2, do they adjust guidance? Now, we had some big news that already happened this past quarter in regards to SOFI that could mean billions to the bottom line for SOFI. That's right, guys. There could be some big numbers coming. But do they have the insight yet to adjust the guidance? That right there is definitely something I'm watching. Now, unless it's just something that they know is in the bag, they may not guide for it yet. But it's definitely something that I'm paying attention to, because again, the more times they adjust guidance up, that means the higher the valuation gets in regards to the stock, which of course means even if you feel like, hey, it's a little bit overvalued, which I don't think many people feel it's overvalued right now. But the point being, they adjust guidance, it can immediately go from overvalued to undervalued. Or if you feel it's undervalued right now, it just makes it more undervalued and an even better deal if they indeed raise that guidance. So there's been some big news here in regards to SOFI this past quarter that could mean a lot of money to that bottom line. Now, I don't think we're going to necessarily know this quarter in regards to, and we're definitely not going to realize a lot of it here this quarter, but hey, they may look out and know, hey, by the end of the year, this is going to print X amount of dollars to that bottom line there. Therefore, they're willing to adjust that EPS number up in regards to the guidance that they give us, which of course would be huge for us as shareholders. Number 3, do we see growth in financial services and the tech platform? Now, this right here is part of the big bull case for SOFI. If these can grow and outpace lending, we will absolutely get more of a fintech type of multiple. Now, if not, and they stall, that puts us closer to that bank multiple. I don't think you're ever going to get fully to the bank multiple. We're just like we're never going to get fully to the fintech multiple. However, I'd much rather be more towards the fintech multiple than the other one, right? We need those products to continue to put up great numbers every quarter to prove that SoFi is deserving of that hybrid type of company, more towards the fintech multiple and command that multiple. More importantly, we need that number to continue growing up over that 50% point for SoFi, which if we can maintain that for a period of time, that will definitively command that multiple be closer to fintech than to banking. And of course, the loan platform business being huge for pushing us that direction. And again, I understand a lot of folks are really confused about the loan platform business. I had to make a whole separate video for my group in regards to that and kind of break down what it is and what it isn't. But that right there also helps us get closer to that fintech multiple, despite the fact it's a quote unquote loan and it has loan in the name. Guys, that's not what it means at all. It is actually a component of that fintech piece because it's not something you carry. It's not traditional lending like we think of whenever we think of bank lending, okay? And speaking of the loan platform, number 4, will the loan platform business continue to print money? This right here has been the most exciting part of SoFi's business that is just now getting started and provides a very nice fee-based income with virtually no risk. Very, very, very low risk. It's really the secret sauce that if they can kind of continue to execute for their clients, continue to build that momentum, it will then provide us and SoFi an incredible high margin revenue source with very, very low risk like we just talked about. It also, I believe, hits that middle ground of being more fintech than traditional banking, which helps us out with our multiple expansion that we want to see and that we think we're going to get. And of course, Anthony Noto thinks it should be even higher than what I think it should be. Hey, who am I to argue with him, right? I just like to be more conservative in general, but the loan platform business is huge. And if it continues to print money, it is going to continue to push that narrative and push Wall Street to give us more of that fintech multiple in the end. So I'm excited to see what happens with the loan platform business and exactly how much more growth we're going to see coming from that. And maybe they'll give us some insight into what they see happening there for the rest of the year. So what is my plan with SoFi stock? Now, don't worry, guys. We will get to the big warning here in just a second. And there's some critical lessons in there you guys got to understand. But first, let's discuss my plan for SoFi stock this earnings call. Now, I've been able to sit back and just enjoy the run since last April of last year, right? We hit those lows, bought a whole bunch more shares again, and we were just busy basically loading the boat with bonus shares after bonus shares after bonus shares during those lows, which of course we got to just kick back, enjoy the run up, and then avoid the hype as it ran up past $30, right? Where everybody was saying to the moon and 45 is coming and 55 and all this other goofy stuff like that. We were right here, actually right here on this channel saying, hey guys, be careful out there. It's definitely well above fair value now. It's going to come back down. And that's exactly what it did. It fell down to around 50% from that high where we once again began loading up on shares over and over and over again. Really have been here for the past month or so in regards to SoFi. Because of the planning and everything else that we do, SoFi has been easy money the past 3 years for the prudent, disciplined investor who did their due diligence, understood valuation, and had a plan, guys. That's all you had to do. And SoFi has been easy money in the end. Unless SoFi goes the opposite direction of their past, 18, 19, 20 earnings calls or so, they will once again beat and possibly raise guidance. And if Wall Street decides to beat it down anyways, despite that incredible performance, we could be looking at a stupid, undervalued situation immediately for SoFi. So if that happens, I will be loading up on shares if that's exactly how Wall Street decides to treat the stock. But if the stock runs big after earnings, well, I'm quite content to just sit back and keep right on enjoying the ride because I bought plenty of shares over the past 3 or 4 years in regards to SoFi. That's the exact situation I want all you guys to be in and why you need to build out your positions ahead of time based on your plan, based on due diligence and all that good stuff instead of chasing hype and hope. Then you don't have to play the guessing game all the time. You are in complete control and you can afford to be patient and just simply wait. You don't buy it when it's all the rage and it appears safe to invest, when the reality is the stock is the most risky at that time after it's all the rage and it's already had a big run. So basically, to put it another way, just to kind of illustrate the point here, is SoFi riskier at $4 per share or $30 per share, right? $4 carries far less risk than $30 per share, but yet people feel much more comfortable buying the stock at $30 than they did when the stock was at $4 or when it was at $9 last year or maybe even buying it right now, right? People felt real strong about their shares at 30, but a lot of folks won't feel that strong buying it right now in regards to where the stock is. The bottom line is you buy when folks are freaking out, like in 2022, 2023, 2024, and even last year when the bulls, even the mega bulls, turned on the stock like they did for no reason. That's when you pounce on the same exact thing like we're getting right now. That's the time to pounce, not when we're at all-time highs. Stock price is down, the narrative is negative, bulls on social media questioning the investment equals the perfect buying opportunity in most cases. Just keep that equation in mind and you will make a lot of money in the stock market if you're picking great stocks. So what is the massive warning? So here is the one warning that I have, and it has honestly been my biggest concern with SoFi for all of us here as retail investors, as small investors out there trying to make our way and navigate Wall Street. This has been one of my biggest concerns specifically in regards to SoFi, and that is avoiding all the hype that comes with the stock if it starts to run, and then of course the subsequent disappointment and hate, pure hate, that comes because SoFi doesn't meet all this trash hype stuff and instead tanks down, right? Avoid all the SoFi to $45 in a month talk that is, unreasonable nonsense, just pure silliness, all that sort of stuff. Based on what the valuation is and the guidance that management gave, they won't be anywhere near that in the next month. And they shouldn't be at this stage either. Now, I think that they will absolutely get there one day, but there's nothing indicating that it's anytime soon. And for those of you guys who don't believe me, let me give you guys a quick example here, especially in regards to the retail crowd, all of us out here, small investors. Ask all those Tesla shareholders who bought the peak in 2021 because $1,000 per share or more, bear case, $1,000 per share, and I'm split adjusting, guys, was right around the corner. And that's right, I split adjusted that number. In all my videos, I always adjust for any of the splits. So people were expecting that price from Tesla in 2021 at those all-time highs because of all the hype narratives and everything else around there. And unfortunately, those Tesla shareholders who believe that are still waiting. And honestly, will be for some time, as Tesla is still down from that 2021 high after almost 5 years. Those folks are still down on this stock, much less being anywhere near $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever the heck the number is supposed to be. And some of those people had, we should already be at like $2,700 right now, split adjusted today and here in 2026, right? That's what those projections showed, and it was complete fool's gold. Now, that doesn't make Tesla bad, okay? Just the expectation was bad around Tesla because it wasn't based on anything except for hype and hope, not fundamentals. A great stock bought at the wrong price can make for a terrible investment. And I don't think there's any choice where a lot of us have had our portfolios doubled up and doubled up again, or some of you guys have done 3x or 4x your portfolio during that time frame. All those folks that bought that type narrative are sitting down after that particular time frame. That's what it costs you when you buy a great stock at the wrong price. And then, of course, when SoFi doesn't go to $75 by the end of the month or whatever, or maybe Wall Street beats it down to under $15 or maybe even lower, which I would be excited for. But hey, let's say they beat it even lower. It's not Noto being a bad CEO or SoFi being a bad company or the shorts or Wall Street holding it down or they diluted us to death or any of the other garbage that is put out there. It simply wasn't reasonable to begin with to believe SoFi to those crazy numbers was remotely reasonable. Avoid all hype and on the flip side, all the doom and gloom and simply look at the fundamentals. If you don't, that's how you end up buying high and selling low because you didn't do those fundamental things in the first place. Look at those fundamentals. Do an actual valuation based upon management's guidance and then see where you are at after that. Anything else is simply fool's gold and will set you up for a lot of pain, mismanaged expectations, and ultimately losing money on a stock that has been easy money. And in my opinion, will continue to be easy money in the future if you treat it like an investment and not follow all that crazy hype stuff or all these ridiculous scenarios and everything else. And if you're serious about investing the right way, like we just talked about, and you want to work directly with me, make sure you take advantage of the earnings flash sale that ends very soon, where you get direct access to me. You get access to free coaching, free courses, jump on our live streams, Be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there, helping you become a better investor. Get 3, 4, 5 videos a week that don't ever see the light of day here on YouTube. Check out our stock calculator. Guys, there's so much involved and so much more coming. Check out the pinned comment, see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.